sometimes come off harsh when I'm speaking and say certain things, and it can be misinterpreted all the time. It happens to me all the time because I'm just bold. I have no filter. So sometimes I have to be mindful of what I'm saying because I'm like, oh, maybe it can come off offensive just with anything that I say. So, like we've had multiple conversations about it, especially now that I've actually had sex. I can now talk about it a little bit more because their thing was, you're a prude, you're not having sex, you're a virgin. Now that I've had sex, my ideals are still the same because I approached it the way I wanted to when it came to having sex. I got to know the person.
Welcome to Too Much,
our podcast about, well, whatever.
From issues of the world to topics of lesser grandeur. We've got you covered with a little bit too much to say about everything.
So let's start the show.
Hi, I'm a bald-headed hoe named Michael.
And I'm freezing cold right now, Cody.
Yeah, you are always cold. You need more fat cells.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's been going on with you, Cody?
What's been going on? Oh, it's been so nice in Toronto this week, weather-wise.
Yes, weather-wise, it has been really nice. We've been getting some really spring-like weather.
Yeah, it was like 15, 18 degrees the other day.
But what did you do with that weather? Did you
I stayed inside. But it was nice to see. Actually, I was out one day. Oh yeah, I went to see my new house one day.
Yeah, how was that?
It was still looking just as gorgeous as the last time I saw it.
Did it grow?
No. No, unfortunately, it did not grow.
I think I heard you say it shrunk, actually. It's actually smaller than you thought it was.
It's smaller than I thought it was, just on paper. But yeah.
But yeah, this week we had really good weather. I went out for a bit.
Yeah.
I had a nice day out. I saw some crazy people in Toronto, which is like normal.
Because the lockdown's over.
Yeah, well, is it over?
The lockdown is. I mean, we still have rules, but...
Yeah. I mean, you can go and shop in stores, but it's like still to a capacity. So retail is back open, so people selling their knickknacks and whatnot can really go out and shop for that. But apart from that, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, restaurants are still closed, right?
Yes, restaurants are still closed for indoor dining, which sucks because I don't really need to go indoors. The weather is so good, I wish they would open the patios.
I was going to say, they're probably not even going to open. They're not worried about opening the indoors because outdoors should be open it's March already, by April.
Well, this is Canada, so the weather can change in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow next week. But yeah, I think the patios will be open in no time.
We will see.
Do you want to get into some topics from the timeline this week?
Yes, sir.
We talked about this on last week's podcast, but Harry and Meghan, their big interview, obviously. But this week was a lot about PiersMorgan because I think it was
trash bag.
He ranted about her on Monday's show. He works on he used to work on Good Morning Britain. He ranted about her on Monday's show, and then on Tuesday he walked off the set because his coworker was like, "I don't get what's going on here. Like every morning we had to sit up here and listen to you like rant about this woman."
And it was so funny because I was watching a few different clips because obviously I'm here in Canada. I don't have their station or whatever, but I remember the day the interview broke, the Monday. A black lady was talking to him and she was like schooling him on some stuff and he was like really not having it. And then I think it was the next day, the Tuesday, was it?
Yeah.
He was on a panel with his coworkers and this man is just leaning in and being like, you are not a great person. You've been bashing this woman for years and you're here trying to say you don't believe her story. You should always believe the victim and you should always give them the benefit of the doubt. You're just blatantly calling her a liar.
Yeah.
Which is the worst thing you can do to someone who is telling you, I have a mental problem and I asked for help and no one tried to help me. I had to flee because it was for my own safety, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He walked off set, literally just got up and said, I can't do this.
Yeah.
He walked off. I was like, what in the Whoopi and Joy Behar is going on here?
I know. Well, it's like, if you feel so passionately and you're in the right, then why don't you defend where you're coming from? He's just
exactly.
If I'm going to be questioned, I'm going to leave. Anyways, he resigned later that day, I think.
Which I think was a smart move. I don't think it would serve him or the public any good, or the station, to keep him on after his...
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll show up somewhere else, but apparently they got like 40,000 complaints, and Meghan herself complained I mean, obviously not her. I'm sure her people complained, but then they said they would investigate the comments. And then I think it was the day after, Sharon Osbourne, who was on the talk.
I saw that clip. I wish it were me, because the way, what's her name? Cheryl? Who was she talking to?
Cheryl Underwood?
Cheryl Underwood. Cheryl was so calm and dealing with that in such a great way. I was like, you know what? Sharon and your white tears, you can go somewhere else. I did not care for it.
Yeah, so Sharon says she was blindsided by the topic of discussion, which I don't know if I believe that.
How would you be blindsided by that topic? And this is international news. Literally every single news station in the world.
But for talking about that, because you know how they have their morning meetings, we're going to talk about this, this, and this in the Hot Topic section of the show. I guess she said they didn't really tell her. But she has since apologized for standing by Piers.
Really?
Yeah. I think she just, that's all she really said. Was like, I shouldn't have, I should have looked at the situation more before I was like, I stand by, because obviously they're friends.
But it doesn't matter if you're friends. At this point, Piers has been doing this for years. This is not new.
I know, but I guess her excuse is like I wasn't ready to talk about it, and maybe she didn't know the full story.
Oh my God. She was literally there crying, like bawling tears, talking about, then educate me, because he has never done anything racist or said, like, it's bigger than that. You make it seem like he said the N-word. Like, it's way bigger than that.
But he's just generally like an awful person to some. He is that kind of like old, straight white man, conservative type. Yeah. He said like a lot of stuff about Ariana Grande over the years. She's responded to him on Twitter and stuff like that. But he just always seems to be putting down women. Or maybe those are the only news stories that like get picked up.
No, but that's his brand.
I'm sure if I lived in Britain, I would see just like a lot more of him saying shitty stuff about everyone.
Yeah.
But the stuff that kind of comes across the pond here is like when he goes on these rants about pop stars, like wearing little clothes or like doing this or that.
I mean, I saw a clip just the other day of him and Chelsea Handler, and she had to be like leaning into him. Like,
your terrible interview.
Yeah, he's a douche. He's been that way forever. And I'm glad he's no longer on Good Morning Britain, but he did say in an interview on the side of the road with the paparazzi that he will pop up again because he's just hibernating.
Oh, of course. He's a popular guy.
Yeah, so he will get a job and he will come back and he will continue to double down on his really horrible views. And that will be that for PiersMorgan. Piers.
I saw this story this week that Kanye reportedly changed all his phone numbers and told Kim, you can contact me through my security.
You know what? At this point, if I were Kim, I'd be like, work. No problem.
Yeah, but he's the father of their children.
What does that have to do with the price of rice?
Usually you want your kid's father to be in their lives.
Yeah, that's noble. But at the end of the day, if the father is changing the phone number and telling me to contact him through a security, I would... North is the oldest. North is what, around 7 or 8? Depending on how old North is, I would call the security once and let them know and get in touch with him. Here's a phone to speak with your children. You need to talk to them at least once a week, minimum, and you call me. I'm not calling you.
You know, maybe he does.
Live with me, so you need to come. You need to reach out to me to come see them and come talk to them. I'm not calling your security guards.
Maybe he does. I'm thinking North probably has like her own cell phone. He probably like texts her and stuff.
Because as a parent, I'm not gonna have my ex-partner tell me you can contact me through my security. No, Kanye is just a wackadoodle. Like, nothing's new there.
He's hurting.
He's been hurting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At this point, who can help him? I don't know. Iyanla can't help him.
Oh, well, he needs therapy, and I'm sure he doesn't get any of it.
I hope he does, but I feel like he does.
You think?
I would hope so.
I mean,
maybe he's just a really tough nut to crack.
Somebody put him on medication, I guess, a while ago, but he didn't keep up with that.
But that's Kanye. Speaking of another little hyperactive black man, Kirk Franklin. He's a gospel artist. He's one of my favorites. I love a lot of his songs. He was outed by his son for being like an aggressive father or something. His son recorded an argument they had, and Kirk was really leaning in, like a lot of parents do sometimes. If you're a grown child, like I wouldn't say grown adult, but if you're like an older kid, late teens or whatever, and your parents and you have disagreements, sometimes it gets like real heated and it feels like it's two grown adults talking to each other.
Can't relate.
Not in every family, but in some families that does happen. It's on, you see it online all the time. Parents
I know people do
kids.
it. I just can't. It wasn't my experience. My parents have never sworn at me.
Yeah, but you grew up in like a Christian household. But then again, Kirk Franklin is a Christian.
So what are you saying?
But anyways, he was talking about stepping on necks and doing all these things, and the son was giving it back to him, like back talking on everything. And everyone online has mixed reactions. A lot of people are saying, well, yeah, I grew up in a church household and I was cursed out in the name of Jesus a lot of times. And some people were saying this is the black community. The black community should not be upholding this and not be saying, oh, I understand why he did it, because no father should ever talk to their son that way. And others are saying, well, I'm on Kirk Franklin's side, and sometimes kids are disrespectful and you just lose it. What are your thoughts?
I think that you shouldn't swear at your children. I think that you should try to be calm all the time, but I don't know, think that out of hand, of course, but it doesn't seem like it was a one-off situation.
Well, listen, this is how I see it.
But he's always given me the image that he's an angry person.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
He just feels he's very stern. He's not a smiley dude.
For the most part, he seems pretty normal to me.
He's not smiley.
I've never
very
noticed.
Serious.
I've never noticed.
Very serious.
All
guy.
the interviews I've seen with him, he's always been like having a good time. And watching him perform, he's always having a good time. So I've never really noticed a very serious side to him.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my take on it. Sometimes kids are disrespectful. And as a parent, not every parent is like well equipped to deal with disrespectful kids. Not every parent has the tools to properly communicate, because a lot of parents were parents early and they just learn as they go along. No, as a matter of fact, I don't know of any parent that really knows what they're doing 100%. Some people have a temperament to which they can like really tolerate backtalk, and they can tolerate insubordination and all that. Some people don't, and sometimes it happens. I don't fault him. I don't fault the son. I just feel like they had a really weak moment, and I'm sure they're going to be fine after this, because at the end of the day, it's father and son.
Yeah. I forgot what I was about to say.
What do you mean you forgot what you were about to say? What's your next story?
I was going to say something about that, but we'll leave it there. I told you about this story earlier this week, this 3-year-old girl who died after sleeping over at a friend's house.
Wait. You told me about the story, but I didn't know the child was sleeping at someone's house.
You didn't listen to anything I said.
Apparently not.
So, this 3-year-old, she's sleeping over at...
Isn't this in Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's sleeping over at a friend's house, which I thought was kind of weird because they're only 3 years old. But
I was just about to say, like, they're 3 years old. It's still a pandemic here, and in Toronto, we have a lot of restrictions. So why are you sending your kid to sleep at someone's house?
Well, I thought, it doesn't explain it, but I was like, maybe it was like a babysitter situation. Maybe the mom works nights or something.
Well, the babysitter better come to my house.
But she has kids. It's a sleepover.
I still don't agree with it.
Anyway, so the kid's sleeping over at a friend's house. They live in the same apartment building. And everything was fine. And then Sunday morning, the mom gets a call saying that the kid is having some type of reaction and is vomiting. So then the mom went upstairs. She said when she went into the apartment, her kid was like weak and her mouth was gray. And she was barely breathing, right? So she called 911, or the other mother called 911. And they were going to send an ambulance. The ambulance didn't come. Or like if they waited 20 minutes for the ambulance didn't show up.
Okay.
She went downstairs, grabbed a change of clothes for her kid, thinking they're like on the way to the hospital. No one called up, so the 911 operator put them on the phone with Telehealth Ontario to like talk to a nurse to try to like help the situation, like where they are. The nurse was like, you have to bring her to the hospital. So they got in the car, drove her to the hospital, and then she ended up dying.
On the car ride there?
No, I guess when they went to the hospital.
Okay, so what's the cause of death? Do they know?
They don't know.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't even speak on what this could be, but it's really horrible that
they
she
also
died.
said when they got to the emergency room, they weren't seen right away.
That's not the story I heard.
What do you mean it's not the story you heard?
No, because I remember this story. We're talking about, you showed me this earlier, and the news report says, no, the hospital released a statement saying that whenever kids come in, they're seen immediately, blah, blah, blah. Did they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's contrary to what she's saying. The hospital put out a different statement, so maybe the hospital is lying. They didn't see her.
Yeah, the hospital said when children come into the emergency department in distress, they are assessed immediately. The nurses, physicians, and healthcare professionals are trained on management of critically ill pediatric patients. But they didn't say that she was seen immediately.
Oh, okay.
They just said that's their policy.
So who do you think where does the blame lie at this point? What's your thought on that?
Well, the coroner and the Toronto police are investigating it. And also the Canadian Food Agency is investigating it too to see if something she ate caused this reaction, because then obviously they have to recall the food that she ate, right?
I remember them talking about whatever food she ate, and I was like, why is this even a thing? But I know that the parents of this child, they're of African descent, so I don't know if they think that they're giving the kids some weird food to eat, which is I don't know why they're specifically assuming it's something she ate. It could easily be a bug or the freaking coronavirus, because obviously this mom has been leaving this kid wherever she can get help so she can go to work.
How do you know?
Well, she left the damn kid in somebody's apartment because she needed to go out and do whatever, probably work.
It doesn't even say she went out.
Then why the hell would she leave the kid somewhere?
Maybe it's just a play date and she said, yeah, you can stay over.
Then she's negligent.
Why do you say that?
I say that because it's a pandemic. It is a pandemic.
Maybe this other family is in their bubble.
I do not care.
Well, then there's no point in what you're saying.
There is. It's a pandemic. I don't care if you're in a bubble or not. These are children. You have to be extremely cautious. And I don't think she was being extremely cautious. So in my opinion, negligence.
So this week I took the week off, kind of. I'm working a half day.
Half day.
Michael interviewed somebody by the name of Danny Ortega, and you guys are talking about gay relationships?
Yeah, we talked about gay relationships when it comes to romantic, friendships, and families.
Love it.
Take a listen. So you guys have been listening to the podcast. Thank you.
But if the Too Much podcast isn't enough, there's a whole lot more content on Michael's YouTube.
Yeah, I post every single week, and I have literally too much going on over there.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and please drop a comment and tell us what you thought or what you'd like to see Michael do next.
Bye. Oh, no. Back to the show. This is Danny Ortega, by the way. The fabulous one. Hi. From New York City. You want to tell people what you do and what your thing is?
Okay, well, hi everybody. I'm Danny, as you already know. But yeah, I'm a dancer. I used to train with Alvin Ailey and ABT in New York, and I currently work at I have two jobs. I have a for-profit job and a nonprofit job, both with working with children and dancing. There's a huge difference with the two, but I'll leave that for another time. But yeah, that's what I do. And I've pretty much just been traveling, not now due to COVID, but I used to travel for dance. So just waiting for Rona to be over.
Did you ever dance with a company?
Did I ever dance with a company?
Yeah.
I had auditioned and I made it to the next round to go into the company, but then I decided to go to school. So I went to college instead. So I had to finish up school, and then long and behold, the pandemic strikes. So it is what the pandemic really messed up my entire life. But in a weird way, it kind of made everything better for me. I was stuck in this job. Well, I wouldn't say stuck in this job. It was a career and it was really great, paid very great. Everything was fun, but it stressed me the hell out. And I had no time to do anything I wanted to do for myself. Every little dream I had literally died there because I was so busy building some corporation's dream. And then after the pandemic hit, I was like, I no longer work here. Okay, what am I going to do with myself? Oh, let's go do something you've always wanted to do. Go sit in front of a camera and start talking. And I'm happy with it. Listen, I'm happy for you. Congrats, because everything you've achieved, kudos to you. It's amazing. Yeah, and honestly, I don't mean to cut you off. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you had you not been doing this. Like I
Yeah.
remember, I found you randomly on YouTube looking like at reviews, and I was like, okay, I subscribed, I did the whole shabam, and just like, comment, and then got to know you, and I was like, oh, he's dope. Like, yeah, I was like, he's gonna be my friend. I
I
was like, yeah, he's
remember
gonna be my
when
friend.
we started following each other on Instagram, and I kept seeing your post, and I'm like, he is funny. He is
Oh
fun. He's like a
God.
riot. I could see us hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Listen, I'm coming. Where are you, in Toronto?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto,
Listen, I have a thing lately
right
for
across the
Toronto
border.
men. Yeah, I'm on my way. I have a thing for Toronto men. Like, I don't know if you've been seeing my story, but there's this one guy
I
in
have been
Toronto.
noticing that guy you've been posting. He has a boyfriend, you know.
Does he?
Yeah, just as cute.
Okay, I mean, we gonna have to. That's not gonna be a thing, but okay. All right, I take that back. But yeah, Toronto, I'm coming your way to see you anyway. So, yeah.
I mean, I can't wait for like. Yeah, I have traveled during the pandemic because my parents live in the States, so I do go back and forth.
Mm,
And it wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be. I was super scared to travel, but when I did, it was like, I mean, I was wearing the shield, the mask, like hazmat suit. I was totally like prepared for it. But for the most part, it was
listen,
not horrible.
listen. These masks, they need to be breathable but they're very important. Like, everybody outside right now, like from where I live, are outside
Yeah.
with no mask on. They think it's fucking summer, and it's like it's ridiculous to me. Wait, can I curse?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let it
Well,
fly.
I was like,
Let it fly.
all right, cool. But yeah, they think it's fucking summer outside. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm hot right now. I'm just like, ugh. But yeah, they're crazy. Wear your mask. Be safe out here, because I ain't trying to get sick. So I
I
feel you.
totally agree. But today we want to talk about relationships before I get sidetracked. Whenever I do this podcast, I get so sidetracked and they talk about everything else but the topic. But relationships. We want to talk about gay relationships to be specific when it comes to partners, friendships, and family dynamics. You posted a video recently with you and your mom, and it had me rolling on the freaking floor. You guys are like best friends, and it just makes my
Mhm.
heart flutter when I see you and your mom in videos
Oh,
together.
thank you. Oh, thank
Like, I
you.
have a really close relationship with my mom, but we don't talk like that. So when I saw you guys, I was like, these are two homegirls, and they're just
Yeah.
kikiing and just having fun.
Tia and Tamara. That's what I always say. We're like Tia and Tamara. Like, like my mom always says, I'm her. Like, literally, like, she just gave birth to a clone. I just happen to be a male. Like, come on. Like, we both like dick and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're both crazy. So it's like, yeah, that video, funny enough, when I had posted it, everybody was like, oh my God, you and your mom speak to each other like that? I'm like, yes, like, my mom is like my best friend. I was like, on top of that, she don't pay my fucking bills anymore. I was like, come on, like I'm grown. And it's funny because it wasn't always like that though. Like, I used to be in the closet, obviously we all had to start somewhere.
Right.
So I used to be in the closet, and she, oh my God, I shouldn't talk about this, but whatever. She would often drink a lot, and she would see little mannerisms that I had that are very feminine like. So she would always question me at the wrong times. Am I gay? Am I this and that? And I felt like it shoved me back into the closet even more. Like, I couldn't just break out.
Yeah.
And then one day when I was 18, but when I was 18, I came out to her through text. And she called me crying. And then since
Text. Oh
that,
my
yeah,
God.
through text. I know that's messy, but it is what it is. I had, oh man, I get emotional thinking about it. But I had cried on the phone with her because she called me, and now we're just best friends. Like, she accepted me for who I was. It took us time, but now she's my best Judy. I could
Oh
talk
my
about mom all
goodness.
day. Yeah.
I came out to my mom last year, and it's like not that long ago.
What?
Um,
Whoa. Well, congrats to you. That's still an
I know
achievement. Like,
it's weird. It was just a weird feeling. I hate the idea of having to come out in general because I feel like
mm,
I'm very private with my life and I'm not in anybody's business, so nobody should be up in mine. So, but
period.
I didn't really care
Period.
what anyone else in my family or in life thinks about me. But I have a great relationship with my mom, and I'm like, we talk on the phone almost every day. She tells me everything, I tell her
Mm,
everything, but that major part of my life, and it was weighing pretty
mm,
heavily on my heart. I was like, it's a pandemic. I had planned to visit her last May. Like, it was like a whole thing. I planned it from like January.
And then the pandemic happened, and I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to see my family for a very long time.
Right.
And I'm like, I just can't. I just need to just get it out of the way. And I
How
called
far
her.
does your mom live from you?
Right now she's in Tennessee, so it's not like super
Okay.
far.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's well, she moves every now and then. So
she's just traveling.
At one point, she was further away. Now she's not that far, and in a month or so, she's going to be a little bit further. But I called her on the phone. I'm like, I don't want to do this over the phone. I imagined it face to face because I'm that type of person. If I'm confronting you, I'm confronting you face to face. And so it was really
I like to think I'm like that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, call her up. Hey, I have something to talk to you about. She's like, okay, what do you have? What's going on? And I told her, and she was like, oh, and just had like a great conversation, and that was that. And I was like, this is the only person I will be coming out to in life. She's like, did you talk to your dad about it? I'm like, why should I? I have a great relationship with my dad. Don't get it wrong. Like, I have a good relationship with him. His birthday is coming up in a few days, and we talk for hours whenever I call him. But I only need it's not, and I don't even need approval from my mom. But it's like I only care about her being proud of me or like being okay with me as a person. Everyone else comes secondary for some reason, and it's not like I don't care for anyone else. It's like she's up here, and everyone else is like whatever.
No, yeah, it's something about moms. Like I feel like, like when it comes to like boys and their mothers, there's a bond there. It's like, you know, I'm a mama's boy myself. You see that, but you know, I get that. See, like with my dad, me and my dad, we don't talk at all. Like at all. There's a long story behind that, but we'll get to that soon. But yeah, like. Child, listen, I had to block my father. We cursed at each other. It got serious. So I understand why your mom is here.
Yeah.
So
because, and I feel like I'm not speaking for all Black moms because I know a few. I know someone, a younger guy, his mom literally like is not the type of mom we have. Let's just say that when he came out. But I feel like for a lot of Black moms, especially from like broken families or whatever, where the parents are not still together, they work really hard to like build a bond with their kids and like take care of them the best way they know how and like do everything. And so as a kid growing up, seeing that love and that unconditional like support and everything you get from your mom, she automatically becomes your number one supporter and you automatically become her number one supporter.
Right. I definitely agree. Yeah.
So we're both Black men, obviously. You might be mixed with things. I don't know. I'm mixed with things, but I really don't talk about it. I'm like, I'm
oh,
Black,
really? What are you mixed with?
Well, my dad's like half.
You know.
My dad's like half white. I have a sister, and both have same mom, same dad. If you saw her next to me, you'd be like, who's this like pale person beside me? She looks more like my dad, and I look more like my mom. But
oh wow,
yeah, I feel like whatever I look like, I'm just gonna claim that and that's enough. I cannot.
Yeah, that's just like, what you are.
I'm 16th this. I'm 2.5% that, and I'm 5%. I don't have time for it.
Yeah, like listen, I'm presenting what I am, and I said what I said, like, and well, funny enough, I am mixed. Like I'm a Black man, obviously, but listen, I get Dominican sometimes. I
can see that.
I get like I'm Bayesian, and I'm like, look, I'm Black first and foremost, yes, but I'm also Puerto Rican. Like both my parents are Puerto Rican, but my mom, she's Italian and French too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you know, I think that's why I'm wearing this beret today. But yeah, so
he's diverse.
Yeah, you know, very versatile.
Okay. So as a member of the Black community, we understand like homophobia is like super crazy in our community. And you live in New York. What part of New York do you live in?
I live in Spanish Harlem. I'm right here in Spanish Harlem. Harlem, you know, East Side. And listen, it's not as bad as it used to be back in the day. Yeah. But today it's a lot like, okay, you know, we're coming more to accept people for who they are, you know. So yeah, thank God.
I don't have a lot of experience in Harlem. I remember visiting Harlem once because my brother had a
Mhm.
girlfriend that lived there, and I like visited their place.
Ooh.
And I
How was
was
that?
like, I was like, get me the hell up out of here.
Listen, listen. Anybody who knows Harlem, especially 125th, stay away. Like,
I
stay
don't
the
even
hell
remember
away.
oh, this is doing the most. I don't remember what street we were on or whatever, but it was obviously the projects, like the building and everything. I was like, yeah, this is obviously government housing, which
Mhm.
is fine, totally fine. But you
Yeah.
had people just standing in places, and like you have to walk past them, and it's like, why are all just standing around? What are you selling dope, or are you gonna jump me? What's going on here?
No, no. A fun fact. That's literally exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing.
I
Like
just couldn't.
the I can't. Oh my god! Like I was just at the train station yesterday for work. Every morning, there's about like five crackheads, and they sit there in front of the train station selling dope in my face. It's annoying as shit. Oh my god, I'm over it. Honestly, I'm tired. I'm ready to move. Listen, I might just come to Toronto. Like,
Listen, we'll take you. We don't turn people away here.
all right, I'm on my way. Like, here I come
But
because
when you were a kid, though, was it like hard for you to be in that space and navigate your gayness? And did you have to suppress it? What was your experience like?
okay, yeah, definitely. It was hard due to the fact that I really did not know what gay was because it's not talked about in the household, especially in Black families or Spanish families. Period. They do not talk about that at all.
It's like it's a
Point blank.
phase.
It's literally it's a whole phase, and like not even that for the most part. I didn't know what gay was until I got to what middle school because I started to have attractions for boys, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, this is weird. How am I supposed to express this?" You know. And then my dad one day caught me watching gay porn. Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but mind you, I didn't know he knew because I went to find out the information for myself because they don't talk about what gay is, like even in schools when you have sex ed class in middle school, they don't talk about what sex is like for gay kids at all.
I know.
So
And that's why a lot of us as young gay kids learn about sex from porn. And so we don't have healthy relationships as adults.
exactly,
And we don't have
listen.
healthy sex lives because in our minds, it's like sex is you meet some random guy on the street, take him back to your house, plow him, and then you move on to the next person because that's what a porn scene is.
Yeah,
And you
that's
have like heterosexual girls and boys where they grow up seeing their mom and their dad, their grandparents,
mhm,
male and female. They have sex education class and they go to church and they hear about relationships and
mhm.
families and everything. And there's a whole, thing created for them. Like, this is how it's done. We don't really
Agreed.
know.
No, I agree 100% because like they have a foundation. That's what I like to call it, a foundation. We as gay people have to build our own foundation in order to achieve what we want with anything, especially when it comes to relationships. So like steering back to the whole me going out to look for what gay was with the whole porn thing with my dad, I had to go find it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what these feelings were that I had for men, but I just knew I liked dick. Like so I went and looked for it. But my mom, he told my mom, and then I was like, oh no, that was me. I was in denial because they used to call me faggot and this and that. Like that's why I was very pushed right back in that closet. And it was
Right.
hard for me. And yeah, that's why I don't got a relationship now with my dad because of that small thing right there. We have just built years of like hating each other because he used to call me faggot in the middle of the street right here in Harlem in front of everybody.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
I feel like that's so dangerous. I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend, like I'm originally from Jamaica, and I have a friend from
Mm.
back home, and he lived in like a really tough neighborhood, and he has this aunt that was just from he was a kid growing up. His aunt like caught him doing some gay shit or whatever, and his aunt
Ooh.
just had it out for him all his life. And she would like try to spread rumors about him to guys in the neighborhood, like guys that would literally like cut your head off Like my
Yeah,
nephew's like that.
Jamaicans they don't play that. Like
I'm like,
trust
this
I
woman wants
know.
to see you dead. She wants to see you dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
so to me as a family member, even if you feel like your kid or your family member is like a homosexual and you're not really for it because you're closed-minded or whatever, leave that in the house. Why would you go outside to like try to make other people harm them because of who they are?
I don't understand what possesses people to be so malicious and have this ill intent to hurt somebody, especially when they're family, like your blood. I don't understand why you're so upset. Like, why does it upset you? Like, what is triggering you to be that way? That's just that's terrible. I hope he's okay now.
Yeah,
Because
he lives in the States right now, so he's great.
okay,
But
yeah,
it just hurts to think that family, you expect them to have your back no matter what, and for them to like take care of you, but they're the same ones like trying to like see you go down in the worst possible way.
yeah. I can't like. All right, so let me ask you this, right? What was it like for you? Because you said you only came out a year ago to your mom,
Yeah.
correct? So now,
Yeah.
what was it like for you though? Because you grew up what in Jamaica?
Yes.
So what was it like for you then?
For me, it changed me.
Mm.
Growing up in that environment, you see how I'm smiling all the time when I talk to
Yeah,
people? I'm always laughing.
yeah.
This was not me when I
Oh
was younger.
wow.
It
Mm.
hardened me to the point where it's like you had to fight for your survival. I remember just like thinking, okay, you cannot walk with a little wiggle. You cannot have your hand with a little swish. You cannot like
A little shimmy. Yeah.
nothing. You can't have a little pep in your step. You have to literally train yourself to walk a certain way, to talk a certain way, to gesture a certain way. If like I'm talking, I use my hands, like cut that shit out. Like
Oh
smiling
wow.
all the time. What you know? Why are you
Yeah, like
laughing
what?
like
Like,
that?
why are you so happy? Like, oh, why are you so
Like
happy
you
for?
have all these people around you just watching your every move, and it's like in that how I grew up in these areas. As a younger kid, I didn't have an issue. I must say, as a younger kid, I was in a really nice neighborhood and with really decent people, and it wasn't a thing. But the older I got, and the more, and I moved out of that neighborhood, and I went to college and stuff, then it became like, oh, people are really out here looking for any little detail about you to say you're different so they can attack you. So I had to like really switch a lot of things up, and I
Yeah.
became so hardened to the point where I remember meeting one of my friends downtown once when we're in college or something, and she's like, "What's wrong? Did someone do something to you? Like, why do you look like that?" I'm like, "What?" And like,
Right.
"You look like you're about to fight," and I'm like,
You have the hard exterior, like, yeah, like, damn,
"Like,
I can only
no, I'm
imagine.
fine." But it literally like you have to portray what you see every other toxic masculine person around you portraying, and
Yeah,
it
you
all
gotta
becomes
present
so
hard.
performative. Like, I
Yeah,
know these guys around me are not that hard. I
yeah.
know they just don't walk around with their face like all the time. Why do I have to pretend to be that so they'll leave me alone?
Yeah.
So that was my experience, and it took me a very long time to soften and like shed away a lot of that like aggression for no reason. Because and it wasn't even that I was aggressive, because I wasn't like attacking anyone, but I just had to present that way physically, like clothes you wear, like everything, the haircut you had, like you
Oh
have,
my
I see you have
God.
slits on your eyebrows,
Yeah.
like
Like I could not
some
do this before. I'm
it's
telling
like
you,
you
but
couldn't do a lot of things I couldn't.
yeah. Yeah,
So
you and me
it
both.
was really horrible in that
Yeah,
way.
no. Yeah, because you know what? You start to build up all this anger inside, and it's like because you're putting on this tough exterior to present yourself to be a certain way. So I listen. I'm happy that you're happy. I'm happy
Uh,
that you have freedom of expression because honestly, without it, it brings you to such a dark place. Like, listen, I feel like I've been there. You've clearly been there. We've all been there, just as gay black men, because
yeah,
it's
it's very
it's
specific.
it's very
It's
specific,
very
and it's
specific.
yeah, and it's like we go through it. I feel like we have it hard, especially
I
being
mean,
gay.
the Black community, it's just so riddled with religion. Religion plays such a huge role, and because of that, the whole agenda of gay is wrong. Even though in the Bible, like I can go on for hours talking about the Bible because
we can go.
I went to church all the.
We can go,
up,
baby. Like
that's right. Right now, I don't go to churches. I have a great relationship with God. I consider myself spiritual, but not religious. I went to an Adventist high school. I went to church all my life as a kid, and it just like turned me away from it all. I'm like, the things you guys are selling the public, and I hate to say this, but a lot of church people are real ignorant. And
no, it's fine. They're all, listen. I won't say all of them are ignorant, but a good portion of them are fucking ignorant. And I realize it's usually the older ones that are really ignorant, like because they don't educate themselves. They don't even take the time to educate themselves outside of what they believe, and that's the problem. Or just even accept who we are as individuals. Like, for example, I did not choose to be this way. Like, who chooses to be gay? Like that's not a choice. I'm sorry. It's just
the era that we grew up in. No one's gonna choose this shit. Maybe now when you have Drag Race on TV and mainstream media makes gay look like it's so fun, maybe a kid will grow up and be like, that looks colorful and fun. I want to be gay. But when I was growing up, oh hell no, I don't want to be that shit. It
was a hi-ya. It was a complete chop. Yeah. Like it was a cutoff. Like, no, I agree because a fun fact, because I work with kids, a lot of my kids are expressing themselves to be feminine like, and I let them be them. I let them make their own choices. Like, I'm not going to correct the kids' behavior. Like, I had one parent come up to me and was like, oh, can you please tell that child to cut that gay shit out? I was like, excuse me? I was like, were you trying to address me? Like, because you got the wrong one. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, because I'm in Spanish Harlem, a lot of parents still think that way. Of like if they're doing step, cut that gay shit out, like very much that. So listen, I've been through the ringer.
Disgusting. I feel like leave kids alone so they can be kids. You know what I really think about a lot? Who I would have been in life right now, what my personality would be, what type of career I would have had, like just the person of my being, if I had been allowed to express myself freely from birth.
Wow.
Because who I am today is like trying to figure out who the hell I am at this very moment I'm speaking to you, because it took so many, I'm in my 20s, and so many years from birth coming up, I had to pretend to be all these different things in all these different spaces. It's either I had to pretend to be straight in a specific space, or pretend to be as toxic as all the males that I grew up around, or talk about, ooh, that girl looks this way, that girl looks that way, ha ha ha, just so he can fit in. Or
I used to
code switching for so many years to the point where right now it's like, who the fuck am I?
Ooh, it's making me hot, because I just got a flashback of when my dad used to dress me all the time to be straight, like the baggy clothes, the baggy pants, the fitteds, like, to move the hood, talk about bitches and this and that and da da da. And it's like, it's like all this, that ain't me. Like, I could do this or whatever because I was trained to do that from my dad, but that's not who I am as a person. So I get exactly where you're coming from. Like, had I been able to express myself earlier, damn, I wouldn't even know. I probably would be a lot happier, because I was angry for a majority of my teen life. Like, until I came out, and I came out at 18. And then I came out to my dad at 19, because we had patched up some issues, but then it just went right back downhill. So yeah, it took me a time. And then it took me a longer time to have sex. Like, I had sex last year, January 1st, 2020, New Year's sex, but
for the first time.
For the first time. Like, I'm 26 now, and that was when I was 25? Yeah. Took me 25 years just to have sex.
All right, let's talk about that.
You're like, I don't believe it.
No, actually, I do know a few people in my life that are in their 20s, some approaching 30s, and they are virgins. And I always find it so interesting. I have a running joke with one of my friends, one of my older friends. I say, like, why are you saving it? Are you planning to give it back to God?
I mean, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know what might happen.
Yeah, but it's really interesting. Like, I think it's great because when I was younger, I had this little fairy tale thing in my head, like, oh, I'm gonna wait until I get married and blah blah blah. But that didn't happen. Why did you wait so long? And was this with a partner, like a committed partner, that you decided to do this with?
So, funny enough, I used to think the same way, like, oh, well, wait till I get married, this, that, and that, blah, blah, blah. I had this ideal of, being married and having sex for the first time. That flew out the window last year. But basically, it was with one of my ex-partners. And we were dating. Actually, I knew him a year prior before we started dating. Like, we were friends for a bit. Yeah. And then we really kicked it off. We really, started talking a lot. We used to go out on dates all the time. He lives fairly close to me, actually, right over the bridge from my house. And, one night on New Year's, we were drunk.
Bam, bam.
We had fun, and bam, boom, pow, ding, ding, dong, like it happened. First of all, I still can't get that song out of my head. My coworkers, because they watch Drag Race, they sing that shit all the time. I'm like, y'all, let the song die. Like, come on,
oh my goodness. Like, you know how long it took me to get this out of my head? Tamisha, Iman, it's coming for you.
It's coming for you.
And as soon as I got it out of my head, finally, after like a month, ding dang, I'm like, oh no, not again, not like, again. I can't catch a break.
Listen, there's so much Drag Race out there, but this is not about Drag Race. There's so much Drag Race out there that it's driving me crazy. I'm glad for it, like, we need it, but season 13 is driving me crazy because it is the longest season of my life. And it's like, I was already done with the season once Tamisha went home. Once they said, I was over it. But sorry about that. We got sidetracked. I just had to. Like, where was I in this conversation? Oh, about sex.
Your first time, New Year's 2020.
Yeah.
I think you caused the coronavirus on us all because you did that for
Maybe
the first time.
I did. You know what I'm saying? The sex was so spectacular that.
What? Your first time, and you would consider it spectacular?
Okay, do you want the full like tea about it?
Give me all of it. Wait, hold on, let me get some juice. Like,
here we go. All right, that's what I'm saying. All right, so basically, we came to my house. We were drinking. I was out with my mom, right? And then he came. We were chilling. Him and my mom are very cool. And we came home one night, the same night. The hell am I talking about? Started talking, we wanted to mess around and stuff. So, the whole kissing and shabam, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we, I stuck it in. Like I stuck it in. Well, I was ready, I was ready. Like my body was telling me, all right, just, you can do it. Because I used to have this fear of catching like HIV and AIDS because, you hear about, oh, if you're gay, you're going to get this and that, and you're going to catch AIDS and this, and you're going to die. So that's why I really didn't want to have sex with anybody. Like, even though there's protection and there's PrEP and there's everything, I still wouldn't want to have sex because of that fear, that stigma that we had out here. So, but then I threw that shit out the window and I was like, come on. So, but he didn't believe.
He didn't believe?
No, go ahead. No, he didn't believe that it was my first time.
Oh, because you were like laying it down like that.
Listen, after getting caught watching porn since I was like 12 from my dad, I think I was pretty experienced with having sex about, So I think
for the past 10 years I've been studying.
I was prepared. I was well prepared. But it is a different experience once you're like actually in it in person. A lot of people don't realize that having sex with somebody is a whole experience, especially, being with a gay man.
And this is how I look at sex. Like, sex is spiritual for me. And it's a whole connection. And that's why I cannot be a part of hookup culture. I just can't. because I feel like I cannot take in some weirdos, some strangers' energy into my life. I got my own shit going on because I tried that when I was younger, like just being like, oh, let's see this person that I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that well. Like I've been talking to you for maybe a few days or a week. Let's see how that goes.
Right. Right.
And I went and it was like, I don't feel great. It happened and it's like after it's done, I don't feel good about myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel different. Like you've altered my spiritual energy. My chakras are not where they
Not
were
in
supposed to
line,
be.
yeah.
Like, no, I don't
Because you're
want this in my
carrying
life.
that energy from that person. Like you're first of all, sex, the act, you're transferring energies. So because I do agree that it's spiritual,
Yeah.
hence I've only had two people in my life, only had sex with two people my whole entire life. And it's like those energy exchanges that you're getting from other people, you're carrying all of that with you. I posted about it on my Instagram and I did a poll and I was like, okay, do you believe that when you have sex, you're exchanging somebody else's energy and you're going to carry that with you? A lot of people are like, no, 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 because they're so into hookup culture.
I mean, a
And
lot of
it's
people, they
like,
have so much damn bad energy, they wouldn't realize if it was altered or not. So
ooh, hold on.
I'm just saying.
Okay, T, like, cause that was factual. Like, that's listen. I ain't no comment.
Maybe they're the one transferring the bad energy, so they don't even realize. They're like, it's good to get rid of some of it. Meanwhile,
Right,
you're over here
exactly.
like absorbing all that mess, messing up your
Right,
whole
like
day.
yeah, you're, and this is another fun fact. I cannot date somebody who has a high body count. I can't jump into a relationship or deal with somebody who has a high body count because it's like you're just giving yourself up to anybody at this point. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it's presenting. And then I don't even know. It's just not for me. It's just not my cup of tea. Sorry about it.
I don't know if I feel the same way about like a high body count, but I definitely feel like I don't want to be in a situation with someone again that has a body count past a certain point. And I'm not slut shaming anyone.
No, 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 no,
Let
no.
me say
Totally
that.
get it.
But I dated someone briefly and they expressed to me just randomly. We were walking down the street and they were just talking. Can we talk about whatever? Like I'll have the
Yeah.
most random conversations. And then they're like, yeah, I've been with over 500 people. And I was like,
What? Wait, the fuck? Like
I've been knowing you for a
500 people?
I was like, I've been knowing you for a while and this has never come up. And like they told me about like major relationships they've had in the past, and I just assumed like that's not that like that's fine, like that's not a big deal. You're this old, you're
Right.
this age, and you've been with this
Oh,
many
okay.
in this many relationships. So I'm like, that's cool, but this many relationships doesn't equate to like 100 times
500
that.
bodies.
I'm like, how?
Like,
I was literally like, how is that possible? And they told me that they started having sex at like 14. And I was like, okay, so you're this age now. So then like
how
this
can your dick
span
get
of
hard at
time.
14? I don't get that. Like, how does that? I don't
Tamisha
understand
Iman
that.
was
But
having babies at 14, so ask her. I don't know.
you know what? You're right. Listen, Tamisha, if you're listening to this, hit me up, girl. We just have a conversation.
Like, it gets hard. It gets hard. But it was weird because when they told me that, I didn't look at them like, oh my God, you're disgusting. But I look at them like, do you not feel strange? Like, how has this
yeah.
affected you mentally being with so many different people? And I don't mean like it's turned you into a psychopath or whatever, but your
No,
energy,
yeah.
your just everything about you, all of these people passing through your lives, how is your life? How has that really altered you? And this person was really troubled. So I'm like, I bet they don't even understand the type of like chaos they've like taken in by like being around and with so many bodies.
Yeah, like 500, that's unheard of to me. Like I've dated somebody that had at least 60. All right, cool. That's fine, like I get it. Sex is sex at the end of the day. Like, but 500?
I know
Who the
it
fuck was
shocked
he
me when they
fucking?
said it.
Like,
I said, "What do you mean 50?" They're like, "No, 500." And I was like,
Okay, now, if you don't mind me asking,
And they're not even
how
like a
did
porn
that
star or
affect?
anything. How did that affect us?
All right, how did it affect y'all? Like, yeah, like just the I don't know if to call it a relationship or just like
You know what? For that specific thing,
because that's nuts.
I never gave that person a title in my life, and I was always very clear about that. So I don't need to. So I would not say it was a relationship. We were building to go towards that.
just the whole.
We were building to go
Okay.
to get to that point,
and then you just stop building right there. Like you just.
Some people
cut
called
it
me a
off at
prude.
500. He was like, "I'm not."
And it's not even that really pushed me over the edge, because some people called me a prude, but I don't think I really am. But I don't do a lot, and I don't expect a lot from people, and I'm not like trying to be too adventurous. I'm like, let's just be safe here, and I don't want to like break a leg or do something stupid because people are wild. They do the most, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh my god. Yeah, they literally listen. Like I did the most one time. I've only had 2 people, but I did the most one time, and I'll get to that in a second. But
Hanging
what I
from
was gonna say was
ceilings
you
and
was
whatnot.
not trying to be. Well, okay, so this got very interesting real quick. Do you want to hear a funny sex story?
Oh yes.
Okay, so
I live for these.
The person, well, I've only had sex with 2 people. Both of them are now my current exes. And I'll get to more about my current ex because I just spoke to him yesterday, actually. But I was having sex with one of them. Not gonna say which one. And because
let's hope they're listening to this when we publish.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell the team. As long as I don't say the name, I think I'm good. But I grabbed the belt, right? And people often think when you grab a belt, you're like gonna hit them with it. No, I'm not like into all of that. So basically, what I did, right? I wrapped the belt around their neck while receiving head, oral pleasure, and a little choo 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 choo, and then tied it around the waist, flip them upside down. The whole 69 ordeal while in the air. So I'm standing up, and he's like flip, and I'm doing all that nasty stuff. And I did the most for a couple of times. That was it. So yeah, it got very interesting. That's why he did. Yeah, that he didn't believe I was a virgin because of that.
So this is the first.
Yeah, I'm real.
You kind of gave it away.
This is the very first time. Yeah,
wow.
This is the very first time.
You're like, this is my first time, and I'm going to do all the moves that I saw in Pornhub. I want to get all of that.
Listen, I was so ready for it. I was so ready. Listen, child, it's getting hot. I'm burning up.
So how did you did you date before last year? Because your first time was the first day of 2020, but did you date a lot of people throughout the years?
I wouldn't say a lot. Like, for example, I had Tinder, and I don't use dating apps anymore because they're honestly not for me. I think Tinder's just stupid. And I'm going to say that because it's like when you match with somebody, they barely talk to you, or you would have a minimal of a conversation with somebody on the app, or they think they're just too good enough to ghost you. And I'm like, listen, homeboy, I'm not the one. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to have a conversation with me, continue the conversation. Like, it's not going to be all right.
And I agree with you. It's very discouraging. When I had it, I actually met some pretty decent people off of Tinder. I always tell people that I feel like I'm a great dater. I like talking to people, and as long as we meet and there's a connection, it's gonna go well. Because I'm not gonna let there be awkward silence or just some weird stuff going on. I'll take charge of the conversation if I need to. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna make sure of that. But Tinder, I remember matching with some people, and I would sit there for a minute and no one's saying anything. Then I'll start talking because because it was my first time. I'm like, how does this work? Then I quickly realized people are just here to match with you for no reason. It's fun. It's like a game on your phone, oh, you're cute.
Yeah,
match,
it's
match, match.
Oh, you're cute. Yeah, it's like,
I'm like,
oh
I
my
didn't
God. And
come
then
here for this. So if I match with
and then
you,
it's so funny because
yeah, I would automatically like send you a
can you
message
repeat that?
because,
It just broke up.
oh yeah, I was saying
Oh
if I
yeah,
match with someone, I would automatically send you something right away because I don't want you to sit in my inbox for months and us not have a conversation. What's the point of that? We matched for a reason. You found me attractive. You found my bio
right,
interesting. I found you attractive and your bio interesting. Let's see where it goes. And so I would always do a quick
right.
little witty message to people. A lot of them responded. Those who didn't, after like a week, I'm like, get out of here.
Unmatched.
I remember
Yeah,
someone came back
like
after like a week and they're like, oh, sorry, I was busy. I'm like, yeah, that's cute. I still deleted them. So
busy.
like,
How busy? Like I don't understand it. Like, see, I agree. It's very much that. Also, I realized on Tinder that a lot of white people, that a lot of the
yeah,
white men that I was swipe on, none of them would match with me. Not one would match with me, and another like that's another problem I had. I was like, and then I would ask my friends too. I'd be like, "Oh, are you matching with any of these people?" They're like, "No." Right, that part right
nope.
there, like because and it's just it's too much. It's like first of all right, if you don't think I'm attractive, cool, that's fine. I don't care. Swipe the hell left. That's cool because we all have our own ideals of what attracts us, right? But Tinder, I couldn't
And
do it. I cut it off. Like it was a done deal for me.
Tinder, I mean, that's the only one I really tried. But I get what you're saying about like different races and matching with Black people because I noticed that um, I didn't match with a lot of other races, and I would still choose other races because I am
Hmm.
open to whatever. You know, if I find you attractive, you're attractive. And
Right.
when I did match with some people, like Asians or whites, some of the whites would be very receptive and we'd have great conversations and it would like maybe go somewhere. But a lot of the
Mm,
times with the Asian people I matched with, it was like they just obviously think you're cute, but they do not want to go anywhere past we like how you look. And that's my
yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
that's my truth. I'm not saying a whole community is like not for Black people. I'm just saying the ones that I've
No,
matched
no,
with.
no, 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 no. I agree. Like
Yeah, I gotta
I'm
make
not
sure everyone
saying, well,
listening understands where I'm coming from because
yeah,
people
yeah,
be
no, no,
quick to
no, no,
bother me in
ditto,
my
ditto. I
DMs.
don't want people. Yeah, if they're gonna, I don't want them coming to me like, Danny, you know what I'm saying. But no, like, I, I'm with you on that. I'm not saying a whole community as well. I'm just saying, just from my experiences that I've had, it's just not like a realistic thing for me. Like, I don't get why I'm not getting matched. So that's I just deleted the app, and I just found it better for me because talking to all these people that are just ghosting me and then just not trying to hold the conversation with me is not healthy for me because then it starts to
Yeah,
make me insecure. Like insecurities, I
not trying to
can't
have
do
her
it.
in your life.
I yeah, period. Sis, you gotta go. Like I've worked so hard on myself as an individual to have self love.
Right.
So to kind of be knocked down a little bit, like a peg or two, to like feel insecure about the way I look after I've come to terms with the way I've looked and stuff. It's hard. And that like apps don't help it out at all. Well, at least to me, but
I love the idea of meeting someone just like in person. I love that idea. And I feel like
mm,
if I were looking for a partner or if I was like on the market doing all that type of stuff, I would definitely like if it wasn't a pandemic and I didn't have to like stay in the house, but like I think it's so cute meeting someone in the grocery store. I live in a grocery store. I love to go shopping. Oh, are we breaking up? Can you hear me?
oh no, I can hear you. I was making
Okay.
sure. Like, yeah, you saw me just zoom in, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I love going to the grocery store and I will see someone who looks cute and I will go over and talk to you. It's either when I
Mm,
talk to you, I find out you're not into what I'm into, or you are into what I'm into. Either way, it's like it's gonna be a good conversation. If you're not into it, I'll be like, all right, nice to meet you. Like enjoy your watermelon or whatever you're buying, and I move on. Like it's not that big of a deal. I don't have any problems just going up to a stranger that I like and be like, hi, what are you doing here? What's up? My name is Michael. Like, what's your name? You're
really?
cute. Yes.
I get scared. I get scared because there's this guy that works in a Starbucks that I have a crush on, and every time I talk to him, he's always like, "Good morning, Danny. How you doing?" Like he'll like
You
engage in
need to go for it.
conversations, but
You
I
need to
get
go for it.
nervous.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
Write
Like
your
I'm just very
number
like
on something and pass it to him the next time you go in. I remember when I was working downtown before the pandemic, I would always go to the same
Mhm,
Starbucks for in the morning and for my lunchtime. Like I was obsessed with Starbucks for some
mhm.
reason. And there's this cute guy there, and he had such long, beautiful hair.
Starbucks has the
And
cutest guys. Oh my
I
god.
was like, I need to quit my job upstairs in the office and come serve coffee just to be around you.
Listen,
I was like,
right, like Starbucks has the cutest men. I swear they do. Like,
yeah, but I was like pretty bold about it. I was like, you know what? You're always flirting. Like, here is the number. Here's my number.
I'm
Use
gonna
it.
try that. I'm gonna try that. Honestly,
It
I'm
turns
gonna try
out
that because
they were like an artist and they just wanted me to come support them. I was like, I was,
mm,
I was like,
hmm
well, you're flirting
hmm
because you're trying to like get people to come to your shows. Great. Waste of my damn time.
right. Yeah, I that's a waste, a complete waste. Speaking of waste, I was in the closet one time. One time I was in the closet. I was in the closet for 18 years of my life, but I was on the train late night. I was coming from a performance, and this guy was flirting with me on the train. Mind you, I'm in the
Okay.
closet. I didn't know how to talk to a guy, and mind you,
Mm.
I looked so flamboyant. I had a white beater on, short shorts, and I had a little cap, and I was just a little handbag. I was like, okay,
Cute.
just a young gay, And he was flirting with me, talking to me, and then he let it be known that he was gay because he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, my ex boyfriend dances." Da, da, da. I was like, "Oh, so I see where this conversation is going,"
Yeah.
but I didn't know how to deal with talking to a guy because I haven't had the experience of talking to a guy before, especially in person. So I wanted to give him my Facebook, like somebody like, listen, I don't use Facebook like that. So I was like, oh, here's my
Yeah.
Facebook. And then I just let bygones be bygones. But, I'm going to try to be more bolder in my decisions with talking to men in person.
This
But
is
I
how
just
I
get
see it.
discouraged because,
It's just talking.
yeah, but like, I don't know, like, I always had this mindset of like, what happens if they're not, you know, gay or if they're not comfortable talking to men?
Yeah, but this is how I see it. I'm always looking for cues because
Mm,
you can kind of see your people, and even if you are not sure and you still want to go for it, go for it. Listen to this.
right.
Straight men go after every woman they see. Is every woman straight? So
Preach,
why not? They're just
preach,
like throwing the rod out there. If someone bites, they bite. If they don't, all right, it was cute while it lasted, the little conversation, and I'm going about my way. Yeah.
preach. But you know what? I think the reason I'm a very outgoing person, evidently, but when it comes to talking to men, again, I get discouraged. I believe it's from my past traumas because
Okay.
of me growing up, the way I grew up, and not knowing how to talk to men sometimes. I really get discouraged to talk to somebody in person, especially depending on the area that I'm in. Like if I say cute guy in Spanish Harlem, I'm not gonna go talk to that guy because of the past traumas I had with my dad and just the way people were yelling at me in these streets. Listen, I can't do it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make the effort. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you should definitely do that. I can just see you like being happy. Like, what's your ideal like life for yourself? Say you are 45 years old. Where do you see yourself?
Mhm.
Is it with kids and a dog and a minivan and a husband, or do you just want to be like living it up, partying? Like, what do you want?
Living it up and partying. Ooh, I feel like I'm doing that now. Like living up and partying. I feel like I should get that done through with the way because by the time I'm 45, I want to be settled down in my own house with my partner, have a couple of kids. Maybe three tops. Because my family, I have 10 siblings and I'm the oldest. I don't want a big ass family anymore. Like I
Oh,
don't. I don't. I want a small little
you're the
family.
oldest of 10?
I'm the oldest of 10 children.
Wow.
That is something, right? And
That's great. I mean, you have like a bunch of built-in best friends right there.
we have a football team. Like we have a whole fucking football team. Like I'm good with, but yeah, I'm the oldest of 10, and I just want a smaller family for myself. So I want to like have my partner just maybe have like 3 kids, 1 dog, because dogs are a lot to deal with. So one dog,
they're
maybe a
sometimes
cat.
worse than a kid, like the responsibility portion of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they need a lot of attention too. You need to like bathe them, clothe them. You have to clothe your
Vet
dog. I think that's
bills,
so cute.
all
Like
of that stuff.
they're a whole extra child. That's why I'm like maybe a cat. I'll do a cat. Like like I think that's what. How about you? What's your ideal
I'm
situation?
very relationship minded, and I love the institution of a marriage. So I do see that for myself in the future. Who the lucky person will be, we don't know yet, but I do see that for myself.
As long as their body count is not 500, then maybe.
With that, this person, like that wasn't even the straw that broke the camel's back. They had like problems. Like I was like, oh, you have those problems too? I'm gonna head out.
What? Whoa, what's the tea? Like, what?
I was like, no, like. I was trying so hard with that person to the point where I'm like, what do you want to do with yourself? Is there something you want to do? Like, I was in a really nice job. I was really comfortable. I was like, oh, they said they wanted like be an entertainment person, like do events and stuff. I'm like, all right, write up the business plan and I'll fund it. And I'll like put things, whatever you need, like get it in motion. And they were just like not ambitious. And that's why I was like, that coupled with the problems that they had, I was like, I'm too young to have this much responsibility. And they're older than me. I was like, no.
But it's kind of the sorry, but
no,
it's it's kind of the flip situation with me because my current ex, don't get me wrong, I do love him. I really do love him. And, he was very ambitious, but I was such in a dark space with my jobs because there's just a lot going on in my personal life when it comes with my job. And I would express it to him. So every time he would try to communicate with me, I would see it as a form of an attack. Or when I would try to communicate with him, he would get very defensive because of the way I reacted earlier. So we kind of fell into a dark place with the relationship. And, I just wound up calling it off. But, I'm still affected by it because I do love him,
Are you guys friendly?
I can't be friends with my exes. Like, that's, I can't. Okay. So I had spoke to him yesterday, right? Fun fact, I had dated this boy back in like 2019. He went to the same high school as my sister and whatever, right? I had met him, we talked for a bit, but we only dated. We never were boyfriends. Okay.
Right.
But I had strong feelings for him. And I did say I fell in love with him because you can fall in love with somebody without being in a relationship with them.
Oh, for sure.
And so now me and this person have recently reconnected, and my current ex knows about that individual. So he texts me early in the morning after stalking one of my tweets and goes, listen, I need you to block me on social media because I find myself looking for you on social media to see certain things. And then we had a conversation about it. And I was like, look, just because me and that person are now hanging out doesn't mean there's something happening between us. Like, and mind you, we were never boyfriends either, So I can kind of be friends with him, like he doesn't believe in that. He thinks something's gonna happen, but I had to reassure him that I still do love him. Lord.
But at the same time, you're not with him, so why does it matter?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not with you, but I don't know. It's just like
massage his ego.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I feel like there's still hope for us to get back together. I think that's what it is. I think we're both holding on to like getting back with each other because we honestly broke up due to the fact that mainly my fault. I'll take ownership of that because I was in a dark place at the time. And, now that I'm healed and still in the progress of healing, let me not say healed because nobody's fully healed because I'm still working at the damn job that I don't even like. Like, so,
I mean, I thought you had like a new job. I remember you saying on social media like a while back you didn't love the job you were in, and you posted you have a new job. So you don't like the new one either?
I don't like the new one either. Let me tell you. Listen, I know it sounds like I'm the problem, but let me tell you, I've noticed I have a problem with authority. Like, I don't like the way certain people talk to me as if, I'm nothing. I'm a little person. I'm the bottom of the barrel. Bitch, you're not gonna try to play me. That's what's not gonna happen. And I feel like that's mainly at my new job. That's what's been happening. Like, we have a pandemic. We're working close in hand with kids.
Right.
Like, don't try to put me into a situation where I can get sick, knowing that we have cases in certain areas of the job. Don't try to send me there. That was the main issue. So, and that, like, again, that took a toll on my relationship because I would vent or take my frustrations out on my partner. So I take ownership of that. And, yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I'm like, I need to work for myself because I just can't be bothered with doing anything for people. Like, I don't want to have to report to anyone. I hate it. But speaking of like gay relationships, and like I'm friends with a lot of my exes. A lot of them were like really close and really friendly, and they're like a counsel for me. Like, I don't have a lot of people where I can go and talk to about whatever that's going on with me, but a few of them I can go and like tell them anything, and I know it stays there and it dies there, and they have my back no matter what. Because none of my relationships really ended in a negative way. It was all very amicable. It's like we grew apart or we just became more friendly than whatever. But for you, do you find it hard to be in a gay relationship? Do you find like it's hard for them to last? Because we talked about you wanting that home and that family life, but do you think it's possible?
Like, at this age, I want to say no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because a lot of gay men don't even know who they are. Period. Because we talked about earlier how we both, what would it be like for us to be born from the womb to be who we are? By this age now, we would fully understand the scope of who we are as individuals. And a lot of gay men don't. So I feel like they're not in the right mindset or place to be in a relationship and date. And I think that's part of the problem as to why I've had a lot of trouble in my dating life, because a lot of us in relationships, including myself, don't know who we are fully. Like, one minute we think we want something, the next minute it's like, oh no, actually this is not for me, like we're not 100% sure. So as of right now, like, yeah, I may be in love with somebody, but I know it's not good for me to be in this relationship with them right now.
Definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Now, what about like friendships? Because we talked about your family and their relationship with you, seeing that you're gay. I see you online with your siblings all the time, and you guys are so beautiful together. They look like they accept you wholeheartedly. Your mom and you have a great relationship. We know that you are like trying to figure yourself out when it comes to like having a gay romantic relationship. But friendships, being a gay man, like, do you find that you have more heterosexual friends than queer friends? And what are the different dynamics with those different friend groups?
Okay. I have a lot of straight friends. I have a lot of heterosexual friends. And that is like, I'm a boy. I like to play sports. I grew up playing sports because, you're trying to impress your dad and you're trying to be hard. So I grew up playing sports and actually excelling at them. So I've made a bond with all these straight people or heterosexual people. So a lot of my friends are straight. And I have a lot of bros that I call bros that are like, and they accept me for who I am. They're like my brothers. And it's like, they see me for me. They don't see gay. They don't see my sexuality. They accept me for me. They're very comfortable with themselves. So yeah. And I do have a couple of gay friends, but not a lot of gay friends. I have a small circle because the gay community, at least here in New York, everybody knows everybody.
Very
Everybody knows
small.
everybody here.
Yeah.
It's small. So my circle is very much to 3 people. And in terms of my gay friends, there's only 3 of them. And
Right.
I don't know if you know the show Noah's Ark.
I love
You ever
that
seen
show.
Noah's Ark?
I watched every episode
Obsessed with
and
that
the movie. It was like what I watched to like have an idea of what it might be like to be an open gay person.
right. So basically, my 3 friends, that's what we are. We call us Noah's Ark because we're literally like those characters. I'm Noah, like, you know,
Naturally, the star. Naturally.
I just happen to be Noah because it's like my experiences, I relate to him, you know, like very much still figuring out what I want to do. What I love to dance, but how am I going to achieve those goals now, especially being a pandemic, you know? And then I have my other gay friends, ironically, my friend, I don't want to say his name, but, you know,
Who's
I call
Ricky?
him O.
Ricky. Oh, is Ricky?
We gonna get there. No. O is Alex. He also works at a clinic for helping people with HIV and AIDS, which is ironic, right?
Wow.
And then my other friend, who's the Ricky out of the group, you know, I love you very much. His name starts with a P, and he out there. Like,
he's having fun.
He's that person of the group, yeah. And then, you know, like, when this is all done, I'll send you a picture of us, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my God! Don't tell me that everyone kind of looks like the characters too.
Literally, I'm the only one that does not look like Noah. Like, that's the funny part about it.
But you kind of do. You kind of do.
Oh, thank you.
And you guys are both artsy types, so
yeah,
fit the bill. So with your like gay friendships that you have, do you find that it's sometimes toxic, or do you find it to be very therapeutic having people around you in your circle and in your council that go through pretty much the same experiences you go through?
Both. It's a mixture of both. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we all share similar experiences as gay people. And my friends are gay, they're gay Black men, so they understand my experience of being a gay Black man because we have similar struggles. So it can be therapeutic at times to talk about it and how we can help each other. But at the same time, the ideals of sex and this and that in the gay community, we view differently. For example, the Ricky out of the group called me a prude because I wouldn't go out to the clubs when we all would go out and kiss strangers or like have fun and do this and that and be very adventurous in life. That's not me. So we almost got into a fight in an Uber one time about it because this is where the toxic part comes in. They misinterpret what I said. I said in the car, I was like, look, because other people can go around and fuck for free willingly when they want to, doesn't mean I'm going to do that. You know, I want to build a bond with this person before I have sex with them. And then, you know, we got into a whole spiel about, oh, but what does sex mean to you? And da-da-da-da. Like, fuck out of here. You know, like I feel like you're judging me. I'm not judging you.
It's all about just respecting each other's like boundaries. Because at that point, Ricky can want to just like go and have fun because sex to them means just a body and a body smushing together and like an explosion at the end, and it's fireworks and it's exciting and it's but sex to you could be like, let me get to know you, your last name, and know your family background, and like know what you like to eat. And then when you do it, then it's more like this beautiful thing flourishing. It's not just like wham bam explosion. Oh, amazing. And that's
it. That's literally it, you know. And that's where it gets toxic sometimes, because when the respect level, there has to be a certain amount of respect. Like, yes, I can sometimes come off harsh when I'm speaking and say certain things, and it can be misinterpreted all the time. It happens to me all the time because I'm just bold. I have no filter. So sometimes I have to be mindful of what I'm saying because I'm like, oh, maybe it can come off offensive just with anything that I say. So, you know, like we've had multiple conversations about it, especially now that I've actually had sex. I can now talk about about it a little bit more because their
Right.
thing was, you're a prude, you're not having sex, you're a virgin. Now that I've had sex, my ideals are still the same because I approached it the way I wanted to when it came to having sex. I got to know the person, I got to be with the person, I got to feel the person out. I know first, middle, last name, favorite color. Like, what's your favorite color? You know, I need to see who you are as a person and your true colors before even going there with you.
Right.
And sometimes people really don't show their true colors until after the fact that you've had them,
Oh my God. You can literally, I've been with people before where I spent months like vetting, and then we like, all right, time to like knock socks and like be a whole thing. And then months later, it's like, who the hell are you? Where did this person come from? Like after a whole year, how did you like hide this portion of yourself from me so freaking good? But it's possible.
Like, I'm telling you, people are here playing Big Brother because I don't know how the hell they're doing it. Like, it's crazy to me. So nuts. Oh my God. Like, and that's just the worst part about it too, because there are people out there that are master manipulators. And it's like sometimes I feel like with the sex portion of it, people get comfortable now. Now there's a level of comfortability where they feel like they can treat you a certain way.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna fly in this book. Nope, sorry. You must have forgot who I was at the beginning of when we met. But yeah.
Not gonna fly over here. Well, listen, we have to wrap up now, but I want to know, are you looking for a partner? Like, are you on the market looking for someone right now, or you just want to take it easy?
I just want to take it easy. I just want to take it easy right now. I'm not looking for anybody. I just got out of a relationship. You know, it's been fun, but I think Danny's just gonna take it easy for now. But I'm open to talking to people. Okay, I'm open to it.
Oh, but not over the apps. They have to be like in your city, and you should be able.
Oh, no. Yeah, I have in my city. I want to meet. It needs to be real. So I'm gonna try to be bolder now, and I'm gonna speak to the Starbucks barista.
Get you some free coffee. You better go on now.
Listen. They give me a large all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I ask for a small every time.
I love that for you. If I could get a Starbucks barista to like just give me free coffee every morning, my life would be set. Like I have everything I need in life. I just need that.
That's what I was saying. Like Starbucks coffee, I order small every time I go in there, and they always give me a large old key. Let's be very specific.
Lucky man. But where can people find you?
You can find me at DX and NY Ortega on social media, Instagram and Twitter. They're all the same on every platform.
And you should definitely go follow him because Danny's super hilarious. He has a lot of fun and he's always like partying and living it up. And when I'm in bed late at night doing nothing with my life, I look at his stories and I feel like I'm outside having fun too. So
thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, it made me happy. And again, thank you for having me today. It's been an honor to be here. So thank you for inviting me.
I really loved having you. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe wherever you're listening from. We're on every platform you can think of. Until next time, bye.